Christy Ogilvy here to tell you about next month here on the channel. September 2025 will mark the RWL YouTube channel's 7th year of operation. And instead of just one big anniversary supercard, we'll be spreading out RWL wrestling goodness all through the month of September, with more exciting matches and the fall season premieres of both Snarl and Rage. You're gonna want to be with us all through September as we celebrate 7 years of RWL on YouTube. So, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us during next month's 7th anniversary celebration.
Alright fans, welcome back to the second half of tonight's RWL Rage in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm Don Hickson, and I'm joined by Myron Schimmelman and Christy Ogilvy. The second half, ladies and gentlemen. We promised you surprises, we've delivered on several, and we're not quite done just yet.
Don's not lying. By the time this show is over tonight, your jaw will be hanging on the floor when you see what happens. I guarantee it.
And to open up the second half, Ladies Legends Division competition, with Rockin' Robin making her return, facing Tamina Snuka in a one-on-one matchup.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our second half opening match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle along with Jake the Snake Roberts. From Charlotte, North Carolina, Rockin' Robin.
Robin's been a top winner for months and months, losing only one match to Liberty Bell a couple of weeks ago. Well, she's back now and getting ready to face Tamina Snuka, and well, Tamina Snuka not being quite so hot. I'm kind of favoring Robin here.
The daughter of Superfly Jimmy Snuka sporting a less than stellar record going into this match against Rockin' Robin, and her purely scientific technique.
To be clear, Don, her purely scientific technique. Her brother, cornerman Jake Roberts, had panicked a time or two. And, well, a snake can't change its scales unless he's shedding his skin. While Jake has encouraged Robin to bend the rules a little, she hasn't bitten on the bait yet. And I don't think we'll see her do it either. If she beats Tamina, I'm betting she does it clean, like she's done since her return. Her opponent from the Pacific Islands, Tamina Snuka. There are times when we see next-generation talent showing how well genetics can work, like the Guns family, the Von Erichs, the Steiners, and so on. So, what's the deal with Tamina?
I don't know.
You'd think the daughter of Superfly Snuka would be a dead cert as a next-gen star, but she keeps on struggling to get even a small win against anyone. The accusations from fans that the talent has skipped a generation in her case, that she only has the family name to bank on, they're starting to gain a little credibility.
Alright, well, let's see if she can turn it around. Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. They lock up collar and elbow. Tamina behind with a rear waist lock. Robin counters quickly, turning it around. Tamina taken down to the mat into a headlock. Jake the Snake Roberts absolutely approving here. Tamina turns it around into a headlock here. Some impressive chain wrestling up to this point. Robin again turning it around on Tamina. Tamina counters again into an armbar center ring. Robin counters, escapes, gets a hold of Tamina. Tamina pushing her into the corner. There's a clinch. Tom Kanamura gonna have to intervene. Breaks it. Oh, Robin with a slap in the face to Tamina. Here's a whip into the corner. Tamina rebounds out quickly, counters over the shoulder. An arm drag from Robin. Another. Wow. 2 back-to-back arm drags. I don't see that very often. Standing dropkick to Tamina. Down she goes. Tamina Snuka gathered up to one knee. A smack across the face from Rockin' Robin. Another dropkick. Robin performing consistently here. Rear waist lock. They're grappling. Tamina taken down again by Rockin' Robin. Tamina rounded up. Whoa! Another arm drag from Rockin' Robin. Tamina stepping outside to take a little breath here. Robin gets a hold of her. Tamina counter slaps the hand away, slaps Robin right across the face. They lock up, they tussle. Tamina shoved back. A nice hip toss from Rockin' Robin. Robin catches a fireman's carry from Tamina. Tamina Snuka rounds her up. Oh, catches a jawbreaker. Counters Robin with a hard right. Here's a kick to the midsection for Tamina. Another standing drop kick that doesn't quite find the mark. There's another jawbreaker to Tamina. Another standing drop kick misses. Here's a headbutt from Tamina Snuka, trying to turn around the momentum here. Gets a hold of Rockin' Robin, drives a couple of knees into the midsection, and another one right to the head. Oh, Luthez press and mounted punches from Tamina. Robin back to a standing position here. Another arm drag to Tamina Snuka. Using the ropes to get back to a standing position in the far left corner. Robin clocks her one. Tamina with a snapmare. Robin counters with an elbow to the face. Tamina counters with another right. There's another arm drag. Rockin' Robin just... Whoa, look at this beautiful crucifix. Rockin' Robin just firing on all cylinders here. A fireman's carry from Tamina Snuka. A right to the head of Rockin' Robin. Robin up over the shoulders. Samoan drop from Tamina Snuka. Tamina trying to rally the fans here in Saskatoon. Here's a shot to the face from Rockin' Robin. Another headlock takedown. And Rockin' Robin sticking to that scientific game plan. And it seems to be working quite effectively. Tamina Snuka. Hard whip to the ropes. Another drop kick that drops her center ring. Rockin' Robin taking a little time to get up to a standing position here. Oh, wrist clutch clothesline from Tamina. Tamina rounds her up. Whoa! A series of wicked headbutts puts Robin down exactly center ring. Tamina rounds her up again. Another headbutt. Robin counters with a hard right. Gets a hold of Tamina Snuka, whips her to the corner. Rockin' Robin moves in. Tamina counters, placing Robin in the corner instead. Turns her around. Tamina Snuka with a double axe handle across the back. Robin counters with an elbow, misses with the standing drop kick again. Robin with an elbow to the face of Tamina and a hard, measured right hand to Tamina Snuka. And Rockin' Robin definitely exerting herself physically, catching quite a bit of exercise here. Here's a cover. 1, 2, almost a 3, but Tamina Snuka getting that arm up. Tom Kennemore being called on his count. Tamina back on her feet, charges, catches a kick to the midsection. Rockin' Robin winds her up. Gets caught into a drop toe hold from Tamina. Tamina Snuka with a big snapmare. Robin counters with an elbow. Back to a standing position. Misses with her kick, but a double ear clap puts Tamina against the ropes. And look at this. A surfboard stretch between the ropes. Rockin' Robin showing some signs of fatigue here. This has been a physically demanding one so far. Handstand. Oh, man. Whoa. What a splash from Rockin' Robin. Robin with a clothesline takes Tamina down, follows it up with a second one. And a beautiful heel kick, putting Tamina down on the mat again. Jake the Snake Roberts absolutely ecstatic. Tamina whips her to the far left corner. Robin quickly, and I mean quickly, countering. Tamina Snuka struggling to get free. Here's an elbow to the shoulder and a beautiful drop kick from Rockin' Robin. Rockin' Robin moves in, and here's a headlock on Tamina Snuka. The referee calling for a break. Rockin' Robin whips Tamina to the far right corner this time. up on the middle ropes. And here we go. Whoa, man, did you see that? That was beautiful. Tamina dodges the drop kick. Gets a hold of Robin by the hair, pitches her halfway across the ring. Robin counters with a kick to the head, takes Tamina down center ring again. Tamina Snuka gathered up to a standing position here. Whoa, winds the wrist up, winds up the arm and snaps it. Tamina counters with a shot to the back of the head, gets a hold of Robin from behind. Robin quickly turning it around. Tamina Snuka, to her credit, performing a lot better than usual tonight. A snapmare to Robin, and a series of elbows to the shoulders, and down goes Rockin' Robin, as momentum appears to be turning around for Tamina for the first time in this one. Tamina's got her up. There's a backbreaker, and now stretching the vertebrae of Rockin' Robin. Robin rolls out of the ring for a second here, realizing she might have a problem. Ooh, a hard shot from Tamina Snuka. Tamina gets ready to go topside. Shades of her dad. Here we go. Big time leg drop off the top rope for Rockin' Robin. And obviously Tamina Snuka displaying some fatigue here. Here's a cover. We could see an upset. 1, 2, but no. Rockin' Robin finding her way out of the pin. Tamina Snuka going back to work here. Tamina Snuka catches an elbow from Rockin' Robin. Robin charges in, and another arm drag to Tamina Snuka. Robin rounds her up again, has her up over the shoulders. Rockin' Robin quick with the turnaround. And whoa, did you pull down the top rope, and out went Tamina out onto the floor. Tom Kanemaru started the count. Rockin' Robin going out after Tamina. Tamina counters, gets a hold of Robin, pitches her towards the timekeeper's area. And now Tamina Snuka gathers up Rockin' Robin, countered by Robin, misses with the drop toe hold. Tamina misses with her kick, gathers up Rockin' Robin, and pitches her towards the far right corner barricades. On the outside of the ring as Tamina makes her way back inside. Referee Tom Kanemaru continuing to count on Rockin' Robin. The count broken by Tamina Snuka as she goes back out after Robin misses with the kick. Robin quickly countering Tamina Snuka into another arm drag. Robin rounds up Tamina. Dragon Sleeper has her up, scoop slams her. Tamina gathered up again by Rockin' Robin. Headlock takedown as Tom Kanemaru's count continues. Tamina escapes the hold. Robin gathers her up. What's Jake the Snake Roberts up to here? Oh, Tamina driven into the ring steps. Rounds up Tamina one more time. Tamina drives her into the ring steps in retaliation. And Tamina Snuka actually performing far better than usual this evening. Robin rolled to the opposing side of the outside ring as Tom Kanemaru's count continues. Jake Roberts, oh, don't do that. Threatening Tamina Snuka with some possible violence here. Robin gets Tamina back inside the ring. Tamina dodges, gets caught into another hip toss. Tamina Snuka sweeps the leg, takes Robin down to the canvas. Tamina drags her center ring, goes for the cover. 1, 2, but only a 2. So says referee Tom Kanemaru. Tamina rounds her up. Whoa, the super kick fails. Robin counters, an arm drag from Tamina Snuka. And this match running exceptionally long for both participants. Neither one known for very, very long matches. Tamina driving knees into the midsection of Rockin' Robin. Both ladies definitely wearing themselves out here. Robin quickly turns it around on Tamina, and oh, what a beautiful, beautiful tilt-to-whirl arm drag. Rockin' Robin's fired up. So's Jake the Snake Roberts. Tamina Snuka in the corner. Robin takes her out towards center, and oh man, there's that beautiful move again, dropping Tamina Snuka right on the top of her head. Look at this. Oh man, what a nasty suplex from Rockin' Robin. tries for the double chop. Tamina beats her to the punch, whips her to the ropes, and an elbow takes Robin down. Snuka misses with the kick. A big-time drop kick from Rockin' Robin. And again, Tamina countering into a drop toe hold, dropping Robin right on her nose. Rockin' Robin counters with a right. Tamina Snuka against the ropes. Now draped across the bottom rope. Robin rebounds off the other ropes and, oh man, just drops all of her weight across the back of Tamina Snuka. Tamina steps out for a breather, comes back in. Fails to connect with the double chop. Robin whips her to the ropes. Standing dropkick. Takes down Tamina. Rockin' Robin looking very tired and looking very hurt. Both these ladies worn themselves out in this matchup. Whoa! Another dropkick from Rockin' Robin. And now into a headlock. And whoop, that is it. Tom Kanamura rings the bell. Rockin' Robin with a submission win over Tamina Snuka.
Here's the time, 13 minutes and 52 seconds. And your winner, Rockin' Robin.
Well, there's another win for Rockin' Robin she can feel good about. Now, in defense of Tamina, I will say, yeah, she lost the match, but she tried it this time. She tried really hard. She put in a legit effort. One of the best ones I've seen so far. And it's still a loss. I don't understand what's the deal with Tamina Snuka.
Nor do I, but Rockin' Robin picking up another win, and a clean one at that, by submission. We'll be back with more Rage right after this. Fans, as we continue, Ladies Division Tag Team action. This time, oh, this one's big. Asuka and Io Sky joining forces, facing the Rage Women's Tag Team Champions Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson, Les Femmes Fatales.
This next ladies tag match, scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring, both from Japan, the team of Asuka and Io Sky.
This one all comes about because of Dynamite Jeannie Parker, who came down to the office with Jet and Mimi, asking for a real challenge this show. And well, Asuka and Io Sky were available, so I put them together. Again, they've teamed before, obviously, but Jet and Mimi, they've got the deck stacked against them tonight.
Most certainly the Rage Women's Tag Team Champions Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson facing a very tall order in these two legendary Japanese stars.
You guys know I love Jet and Mimi, and you gotta respect Jeannie Parker. Not having Les Femmes shy away from a real deal challenge. And, okay, so the Rage Women's Tag Belts aren't a factor in this match. Still, don't expect Jet and Mimi to coast or phone it in tonight.
The Rage Women's Tag Team Champions certainly kicking it up a notch in this non-title matchup with Asuka and Io Sky.
Their opponents led to the ring by Women's World Champion Dynamite Jeannie Parker, from Washington, D.C. Jet Williams, and from Raleigh, North Carolina, Goddess Mimi Emerson, Les Femmes Fatales.
Les Femmes Fatales still standing tall as the Rage Women's Tag Team Champions and the Ladies Tag Trio Champions, along with Women's World Champion Dynamite Jeannie Parker, who has trained and honed Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson to be absolutely amazing.
Like Jeannie Parker herself, Jet and Mimi don't tend to drop a whole lot of matches. Now tonight, I'm looking at a possible, upset with Asuka and Io Sky. You never know. Those two girls are definitely a different breed.
You know I love you, Myron, but this time, I'm gonna disagree with that prediction. I think Jet and Mimi are every bit as good as Asuka and Io, and it could very well be them. That winds up on the receiving end of Les Femmes' aggressive style.
All right, it'll be Asuka and Jet Williams initiating contact in this ladies tag team matchup. Referee Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. The ladies come center ring. Asuka opens up with a series of shots to Jet Williams and a kick. Brings her down to her knees. There's a kick, and there's another. Jet Williams taken down rather quickly by Asuka, and she tags in Io Sky as Jet Williams gets back to her feet. Oh, here we go. Jet Williams counters, gets a hold of Io Sky, whips her to the ropes, makes the duck under, and look at, whoa, nice wraparound neckbreaker from Jet Williams. Jet takes her down to the canvas. Io Sky rounded up by Jet. Jet Williams escorts her to the corner, smashes her head into the turnbuckle. Here comes Goddess Mimi Emerson. Emerson delivers a hard shot to Io Sky. Up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry. And, oh, discus punch. Takes Io down to the mat again. Dynamite Jeannie Parker shouting instructions to Mimi Emerson. Mimi, her former tag team partner in the original Femmes Fatale. And now the group has expanded to Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, and Taylor Holly Combs. Look at this, another wraparound neckbreaker from Jet Williams, who covers and hooks the leg. One, but only just about, barely a one. Wow. Io Sky catches a stomp to the face. Jet Williams with another stomp to the face. Jet slowly rounding up Io Sky here. Gets a hold of her. Io Sky, preferring not to go into the corner again, delivers a series of elbows to Jet Williams. Jet quickly counters her, locks her up. Goes behind, one-arm suplex that sent Io Sky rolling. Jet Williams tags in Mimi Emerson. Dynamite Jeannie Parker, the women's world champ, looking on. Here comes Asuka as she makes her way in facing Mimi. Mimi with a knee, a right, a kick. Has her up. Oh, man, beautiful. Beautiful driver from Mimi Emerson. Asuka counters with a kick to the head. The Empress of Tomorrow drives both knees into the head of Mimi Emerson. Mimi counters, shoves her away, gets back up on her feet, rebounds off the top rope. Beautiful flying moonsault from Mimi Emerson. Emerson steps out of the way, turns it back over to Jet Williams. Asuka still laid out, no sign of Io Sky at her corner, and that could be catastrophic for their team. Jet Williams with a nice suplex and a cover one, and only just barely a one at that. Jet Williams moves in on Asuka, goes behind. Asuka with a gorgeous counter. Beautifully done. There's a kick from Jet Williams, a right, another right, a chop across the chest, and another right that puts Asuka down on the mat. Asuka counter, shoves Jet away. Swings with a hard right. Jet Williams taken over the top rope and out onto the floor by Asuka. Dynamite Jeannie Parker, apparently quite unconcerned. Here's a hard right from Mimi Emerson. Asuka misses with the chop. Delivers a kick instead to Jet Williams. Jet taken in for a one-arm suplex center ring. And here comes Io Sky again as Asuka tags out. Running, oh, nice drop kick from Io Sky. Jet Williams counters with a kick to the midsection. Gets a hold of her. Belly to belly suplex, dead center ring. And now into an arm stretch on Io Sky. Jet Williams tags out, tags in Goddess Mimi Emerson. Mimi moves in, rebounds off the middle rope, flying punch takes Io Sky down to the canvas. Io Sky rounded up, here's a kick to the back. Mimi quickly making her way to the top turnbuckle. Io Sky laid out just about center. Double boot stomp right into the guts. Mimi goes for the cover. 1, 2. But no need for Asuka to interfere as Io Sky finds her way out of the pin. A hard series of mounted lefts from Mimi, followed up with a stomp to the midsection and another. Mimi Emerson steps out, turns it back over to Jet Williams. The team working quite efficiently here. Whoa! A low clothesline from Jet, practically kneeling clothesline. Drives a knee back into the head of Io Sky, turns her attention to Asuka, tags her with a right out of pure spite. Winds her up. Io Sky taken down to her hands and knees, and there's a stomp to the shoulder. Jet Williams moves out, turns it back over to Goddess Mimi Emerson. Emerson moves in on Io Sky. A series of wrist clutch stomps and kicks to Io Sky. Mimi Emerson not letting go of the arms. Gets a hold of the other one, starts winding up. Mimi drives both knees into the back of Io Sky. Io Sky gathered up again by Mimi. Mimi Emerson takes her to her team's corner. Into the turnbuckle goes Io. Io counters with an elbow, gets a hold of Mimi. And oh, beautiful spine buster. A little combination of a bear hug and a spine buster. Io Sky escorting Mimi to her team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Mimi Emerson as Asuka is brought in on the tag. The referee sees it. Mimi whipped to the ropes. Double flapjack face first into the canvas. Asuka goes after Jet Williams, but to no avail. Jet Williams taunting Asuka, and Asuka not going to take that. Whoa, drop toe hold from Jet Williams. Mimi Emerson laid out center ring, brought back inside by Io Sky. Io Sky watching. Jet Williams catches a kick to the midsection. A charging shoulder from Mimi Emerson puts Io Sky out on the floor. Asuka back in the ring, locks up Mimi. Mimi whipped to the corner. Oh, a butt bump face first. Mimi quickly out of the corner, but Asuka opens up with a series of shots and a snap suplex from Mimi Emerson. Emerson quick with the counter. Takes Asuka down to the mat. And again, Io Sky, no sign of her. Slam face first into the canvas. Mimi gathers her back up. Takes a couple of steps. Wolf a running kick and a devastating one at that. Here's another cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, a near fall. Io Sky there to make the rescue, but unnecessary as Asuka finds her way out of the pin. Jet Williams brought in on the tag again. Asuka slowly getting back to her feet. A hard right from Jet. Jet has her up. Asuka quickly counter shoves her back, gets a hold on Jet Williams, nails her with a neckbreaker. Jet Williams rolls to the outside. Asuka follows suit. Catches another drop toe hold and another leg lock on the outside as Dynamite Jeannie Parker looks on. Jeannie Parker exceptionally proud of the femme fatale. Asuka struggles to turn it around, but finally does. Delivers a couple of shots to the face of Jet Williams. Gets back to a standing position here. Locks up Jet. Jet delivers another kick. Gets the hold of her. Asuka counters with a kick too. Jet Williams catches a one-arm suplex from Asuka. Asuka rounds up Jet again. Gets a hold of her and rolls her back inside the ring. Asuka moves in on Jet. Jet with a cool roll-up. Look at this right here. 1, 2, 3. And that is it. Les Femmes Fatales defeating Asuka and Io Sky by pinfall.
Here's the time. 8 minutes and 21 seconds. And your winners, Les Femmes Fatales.
All right, well, there you have it. Williams and Emerson picking up a big-time win over Asuka and Io Sky. And you know Jeannie Parker's got to be so proud of Les Femmes Fatales.
And she should be. Jet and Mimi have not only been winning consistently, but they tend to do it in a way that no one can argue with. I'm sure Myron had his doubts about Jet and Mimi in this match. But the proof is in the pudding, like they say. And while they didn't make Asuka and Io look foolish or ineffective, they won this one cleanly and convincingly.
Coming up next, dual champion Rod the Bod Whitley in a champions duel, accompanied by world champion American Supreme Matt Clark as he faces Rage television champion T-Dog Tomasio.
This next match is a non-title champions duel, scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, along with World Heavyweight Champion Matt Clark, from Pembroke, North Carolina,
weighing 265 pounds, the Southwestern States champion, and one half of the television tag team champions, Rod the Bod Whitley.
Rod Whitley, one of the many people in line to face the Mexican monolith Warlord Santos, and Rod Whitley would love to be a Triple Crown champion once again, but then so would his cousin Matt Clark, who's the very first in line. Wonder if that's creating any conflict between them.
Actually, it's not. They're cousins. They respect each other. You know, they handle their business. And if Matt happens to defeat the Mexican monolith, Warlord Santos, then Rod Whitley's going to be okay with that.
Certainly the mutual respect between these two cousins, once hated enemies, has certainly changed the landscape between the Southern gentlemen.
Those two have been very successful, but have kept themselves very understated. But from what I hear, Matt and Rod are about to step back into the forefront like they used to be.
His opponent, along with MJ Ferrantino, from parts unknown, weighing 245 pounds, Rage Television champion, T-Dog Tomasio.
The Dogster, along with MJ Ferrantino, the Rage Television champion, who has not relinquished the title so far, and it doesn't look like he's going to anytime soon. Incidentally, Christy, what's this about the Southern gentlemen stepping back into the forefront?
They met with both general managers a few weeks ago, and it seems like the Southern gentlemen are about to come back big time. Wonder what it's all about. Any clues, Myron?
I could tell you, but I'm not allowed to. Both general managers have sworn me to secrecy. I can't say a word about it.
Another touch of intrigue as we draw closer to the end of the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour. And well, now you've definitely piqued my interest, Myron. I'm wondering too what the Southern gentlemen have in mind.
All I'm legally or morally allowed to say is yes, they are going to be stepping back into the forefront. But right now, it's all about T-Dog and Rod Whitley.
Right you are, and it's going to make for a hell of a champions duel. Here we go. Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. Whitley charges, fails to connect with the jumping neckbreaker. T-Dog rounds him up, gets a hold of him, goes behind, rear waistlock, takes him down to the canvas. T-Dog with a couple of stomps to Rod Whitley. Whitley counters with a dragon screw, takes T-Dog Tomasio down to the mat. Rod Whitley, perhaps being a little bit too forceful. T-Dog Tomasio catches a kick from Rod Whitley. Whitley gets a hold of the trunks, has him up, slams him right back down across his back, follows it up with a stomp to the face. Rod Whitley drives a knee into the side of the head of the Rage Television champion. Whitley taking himself topside pretty early here. Here we go. Elbow drop right across the chest. Whitley again covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, but no. T-Dog Tomasio kicking out at about 2. Whitley moves right back in on him. Whips him to the ropes, delivers an elbow to the face. T-Dog quickly back up again. Whitley fails to connect with a full shoulder tackle. T-Dog Tomasio with a quick counter into an inverted DDT. The Dogster drops the fist on the head of Rod the Bod Whitley. And another. T-Dog Tomasio trying to maintain momentum here against Rod Whitley. A jab, a chop, another chop, a third chop. And whoa, did you see that? Whoa! Man, T-Dog Tomasio certainly showing off this evening. The Dogster makes his way all the way up to the top turnbuckle in the far left corner, waiting for Rod the Bod Whitley to stand up. And here it goes. A chop right across the top of the dome for Rod Whitley. Tomasio whips him to the ropes. Whitley puts on the brakes. Fails to connect with the jumping neckbreaker again. T-Dog Tomasio going to capitalize on the mistake. There's a kick to the midsection. Whitley gets a hold of him, has him up in a front cradle, walks him out, way up to the far left corner, smashes his back into the turnbuckle and spins him out center ring. Whitley shoved away by T-Dog Tomasio, quickly back up on his feet. Gets a hold of Rod Whitley. Tries for the drop toe hold and doesn't get it. Whitley exploiting the error. Goes behind on T-Dog, slams him down. The Dogster rolls back up, fails to connect with the dropkick. Rod Whitley drives a knee into the head of T-Dog Tomasio. Here's a stomp to the midsection as Rod Whitley quickly tries to turn things around here. The Dogster with an elbow to the midsection. And a running jump that slams Whitley down to the mat. T-Dog Tomasio again doing quite a bit of showing off here. Here's a hard right from the Dogster. MJ Ferrantino looking on. Here's a hard right that spins Whitley around into a sleeper hold. And Rod Whitley could be in some trouble right here. The Dogster not letting go. There's a jawbreaker that disengages the hold. Whitley back up on his feet. The Dogster gets a hold of him. Nice arm drag. Whitley steps to the outside for a breather, but isn't going to get one. T-Dog Tomasio going right out after him. They lock up. Whitley with the upper hand here. Front cradle into a fall-away slam. Finally, Rod Whitley connects with that jumping neckbreaker on the outside as the referee counts. T-Dog locks him up, rolls him back inside the ring, and here comes the Dogster. Whitley back up on his feet, nails him with a clothesline. Tomasio with a shot to the midsection to Rod Whitley. Whitley with a knee to the midsection, a hard right, a left, and a throat chop that stuns Tomasio. Whitley has him up. Oh man, whoa, fly swatter. And down he goes. Rod Whitley covers, hooks the leg again. One, but only a one this time. T-Dog Tomasio powering out very quickly. Whitley misses with the overhand right. Gets a hold of the Dogster, has him up, but whoa, mumbo jumbo. T-Dog Tomasio countering that one quickly, goes behind on Whitley. Atomic drop right to the keister. T-Dog Tomasio catches a right from Whitley. Whitley has him up. Military press. The power of Rod the Bod Whitley. And just drops him like a sack of spuds. Tomasio rounded up. There's a kick to the midsection. And a rolling double arm suplex. Followed up with a second. And holy smokes, look at this. A third one. Face first into the canvas goes the Dogster. Rod Whitley with a devastating series of moves. Covers. 1, 2, 3, and this one is all over. Rod the Bod Whitley picking up a win over T-Dog Tomasio by pinfall.
Here's the time, 9 minutes and 49 seconds. And your winner, Rod the Bod Whitley.
A loss for T-Dog Tomasio, but nonetheless, the Rage Television title staying exactly where it is, around T-Dog's waist, but a big win for Rod the Bod Whitley, the Legal Eagle, coming up with a pinfall win over the Rage Television champion.
But I wouldn't worry too much. The Dogster will bounce back. It's one loss. It's a non-title thing. And losing to Rod the Bod Whitley, well, that happens sometimes to everybody.
All right, our main event with Macho Man Randy Savage when we return. Well, fans, tonight's main event, a huge deal. Macho Man Randy Savage has reunited with Miss Elizabeth, and he will be facing superstar Billy Graham in tonight's main event.
Tonight's Rage main event is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, along with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, from Paradise Valley, Arizona, weighing 275 pounds, superstar Billy Graham.
Well, superstar pressed into service once again by the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, set to face Macho Man Randy Savage, and Myron, I literally fell out of my chair when I heard that Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth had reunited.
Not clear on all the details. All I do know is that Randy Savage got on the phone to Miss Elizabeth, they spoke, and now they're back together. What that means for the future, well, it could mean a lot of things. Hopefully something very, very good.
Certainly can only serve to improve the flagging career of Macho Man Randy Savage here in the Legends Division in RWL.
It could be a total game changer, Don. A game changer, I said.
His opponent, along with Miss Elizabeth, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 260 pounds, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, up to this point, we had seen Macho Man Randy Savage come out to the ring with Ronda Rousey of Bell Unlimited, and with Scott Bell not around this week. What do you suppose that means?
I bet it means Scott Bell didn't know about it. And if he's watching right now, this would be the first he's hearing about it. Not sure what his reaction would be, but since it'd probably be a negative reaction. Too Short's control of Savage up to now has been unquestioned, but Elizabeth has always been a driving force for Randy, behind the scenes, and I promise you, anything that loosens his control of Randy Savage will only be seen as a bad thing. Damn, I can't wait till the little sniveler comes back.
Me neither. By the way, Christy, way to go controlling your language.
Yes, indeed, Christy, your decorum has certainly been admirable. Well, what a main event we've got going here. The Superstar and the Macho Man ready to mix it up. Referee Charles Lucero sounds the bell. Off we go. Collar and elbow. Superstar with the upper hand. Has Savage up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry, but Savage delivers a series of elbows. Nails him with the right. They lock up again. Graham slams Savage head into the far right turnbuckle. Nails him with a hard right. Graham drives Savage into the buckle a second time. And this turns him around. He's going to go for it again. Well, now, Randy Savage seated in the far right corner. And Superstar Graham putting the boots. The Macho Man Randy Savage, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, looking on. Miss Elizabeth standing at ringside. Wow. This is something we haven't seen for a long time. Whoa, over onto the apron. Randy Savage counters Graham with a right. They lock up. Graham once more, escorting Savage towards the ropes. Gets a hold of him and choking him with the top rope. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling already going onto the apron, wasting absolutely no time whatsoever. Oh, knows what he's got over there on the outside. Superstar Graham, annoyed by the fans who are booing him vociferously. Spinning punch takes Savage down to the canvas. Miss Elizabeth sitting ringside, looking very, very concerned. Oh man, an elbow across the back of the head from Superstar Billy Graham. Graham follows it up with a stomp. Graham slowly rounds up the Macho Man, nails him with another discus punch. Oh, Randy Savage is busted open already. Savage shoves Graham away, grabs a hold of him, hard whip to the ropes, and a hip toss from Macho Man. Here's a cover. One, but only just a one. Graham kicking out with the greatest of ease. Takes a moment to the outside, back inside. They lock up. Savage with the upper hand this time. Oh, look at this, the Grand Wizard disengaging the turnbuckle. Graham head first into the turnbuckle, hoisted on his manager's own petard. Look at this. Graham counters, escapes the corner, gets a hold of Savage. Savage counters with another series of elbows to the midsection of Superstar Graham. They lock up again. Savage has him up, drops him head first onto the steel a second time. And Superstar Billy Graham is going to have words for the Grand Wizard about that turnbuckle after this match is over. Savage pays back the favor with a discus punch of his own. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling, realizing he's pulled a boner here and getting into it with Macho Man Randy Savage, hoping that Superstar Graham will regain consciousness soon enough. But he is running out of time. Randy Savage goes right back on the attack, delivers a stomp to the leg, moves in on Graham, gets a hold of him again, whips him to the ropes this time, and a spinning elbow takes Graham down to the canvas center ring. Macho Man Randy Savage rounds up Graham again. The referee finally fixing that turnbuckle. Here's a vertical suplex from the Macho Man. Meanwhile, Graham counters Savage, slams him face first to the canvas by his arm. Here's a kick to the Macho Man. Superstar Graham with a clubbing overhand right to Randy Savage, followed up with a stomp to the shoulder. Miss Elizabeth looking it is a sight to see Miss Elizabeth back at the side of Macho Man Randy Savage once again. Superstar Billy Graham takes himself to the top of the far right turnbuckle. Randy Savage is laid out. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling again disengaging that turnbuckle. You'd think he'd have learned his lesson by now. Double axe handle across the head of Macho Man Randy Savage. Graham nails him with a double axe handle. And again, that turnbuckle with the exposed steel could be a factor here. A clothesline to the back of the head of the Macho Man. Savage quickly back up, taken down with another clothesline from Graham. Superstar Graham stamps the face, probably in the injured area of Macho Man Randy Savage. And now a blatant choke right in front of referee Charles Lucera. Miss Elizabeth looking extremely concerned. Graham winds it up. There's an elbow drop across the back of the head of Macho Man Randy Savage. Here's a cover. 1, 2. But only a 2. Randy Savage powering out. Graham delivers a stomp to the back of the head. Superstar Graham draws a knee into the back of the head of Macho Man Randy Savage. Follows that up with a stomp. And so far, running elbow takes Graham down. There's an elbow drop across the chest, and the momentum seems to be shifting towards Randy Savage here. He locks up Graham. Nails him with a knee right to the skull. Randy Savage moving in quickly on Superstar Graham. Has to work fast here. Vertical suplex on the Superstar. Randy Savage coming back aggressively here. Drops an elbow across the leg of Graham. Randy Savage with a scoop slam on the Superstar. The Grand Wizard once again realizing his man could be in trouble. And the Wizard getting into it with Randy Savage, trying to create a distraction here. Waiting for Graham to get back on his feet. But it is too late. Randy Savage paying back the favor with a blatant choke right in front of the ref. Savage with a hard right takes Graham down to the canvas. Graham rolls to the outside. Randy Savage, here he comes through the ropes. Whoa! Shoulder tackle. Taking Graham down to the floor. Macho Man rallying the troops. And I'll tell you what, Randy Savage looks dialed in since he's gotten Miss Elizabeth back. There's a gouge to the face of Superstar Graham. Graham pitched into the barricades towards the ramp. Savage rolls himself back in. Referee Charles Lucera continues the count and has to re-engage it all over again, with Randy Savage stepping to the outside to get a hold of Graham. The Superstar counters with elbows to the midsection. Graham locks him up. Gets a hold of Savage. Hurls him right into the barricade in the corner. Graham gathers him up again. Savage puts on the brakes and whoa, there's a forearm. Quickly going behind. Pitches Graham towards the other side of the outside of the ring. The referee trying to get them back in the ring, but no good so far. Another rolling elbow across the chest of Superstar Graham. Macho Man tags him with a right that spins him around. He goes behind, rear waist lock into a headlock and a headlock punch. Down goes Graham. And he looks like he's in pain. Macho Man Randy Savage definitely looking very, very good at this point in the match. Regaining momentum for himself, but he's got to get Graham back inside that ring. And he finally does. Graham rolls back inside. Savage rolls himself in. Graham in a lot of pain here as Randy Savage gathers him up again. Locks him up, collar and elbow, has him up. Oh, inverted atomic drop right in the store. Here's a cover. 1, 2. And somehow, some way, Superstar Graham powering out of that pin. Savage locks up Graham. Gets a hold of him. Goat wrench suplex from the Macho Man, who is quickly making his way to the top turnbuckle. Graham laid out center ring. Here it goes. Randy Savage calling for it. Here it is. A big time elbow drop from the Macho Man. And this could be the end right here. 1, 2. But no. Graham getting the left shoulder up. Macho Man Randy Savage with the support of the fans here in Saskatoon. Something we haven't seen in a long, long time. Superstar Billy Graham getting back up on his feet. Savage gets a hold of him. Hard whip to the ropes for Graham. And a back body drop from Macho Man Randy Savage. A kick to Superstar, who rolls to the outside. Randy Savage looks like he's warming it up again. Here he comes through the ropes, and Superstar Graham just sidestepped. Face first, a face plant for Randy Savage. Savage opens up with a couple of shots. Graham quickly counters with a knee to the midsection. The referee counting again, shoves Savage down to the ground. Superstar Graham rounds him up, has him by the trunks, vertical suplex on the outside. Miss Elizabeth looking very, very concerned about Macho Man Randy Savage, who is laid out on the outside as Graham makes his way back inside the ring. Savage slowly making his way back up to a standing position, and Superstar Graham, looking like he's got control of things again, gets a hold of Savage. Hard whip to the ropes, another elbow to the face for the Macho Man. Superstar Graham going to work on a downed Randy Savage right now. Superstar Graham in control at the present time, twisting the head and neck of Macho Man Randy Savage, slams his head down to the mat. Graham moves in again, delivers a kick to the leg, and Randy Savage, in desperation, trying to get back up to his feet in the corner. Graham charges. There's a clothesline that takes Savage down to the canvas. And Superstar Graham now stalking the Macho Man. Gets a hold of him into an attempted bear hug. Randy Savage resisting for all he is worth. Graham can't seem to get him up off the ground for the full contact bear hug. But it is no use. He has just released the hold. He may have already done quite enough damage. Randy Savage is laid out. Graham with a kick to the back. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my goodness. Superstar Billy Graham picks up the win by pinfall.
Here's the time, 10 minutes and 9 seconds. And your winner, Superstar Billy Graham.
Don't it just figure, you two? The one time I want to see Macho Man Randy Savage pick up a win, and he doesn't get it. Superstar Graham pulling off an upset here in tonight's main event.
So, maybe it was an inauspicious start, but just the same, Randy Savage has Miss Elizabeth back, and she's gonna rally behind him, and maybe, just maybe, mind you, get the man back on track again. But still, there's still Scott Bell to be considered. What is his reaction gonna be to this reunion? Will he embrace it, or try and undermine it? Given his track record, well, like I said before, he's probably not going to approve of anything that loosens his control over Randy Savage. Damn, it would have been awesome to see him pick up this win.
And so, fans, that brings to a close this week's edition of RWL Rage. As always, we thank all of you for joining us. And be sure to join us on Saturday, August the 30th, for RWL Snarl with Hangman Tex Lynch, Wally Cardell, and Johnny Bianco. In anticipation of the upcoming Labor Day Slamathon, there will be no midweek show this week. For all of us here at RWL, I've been Don Hickson saying thank you. We'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.